everyone, in this reading we will explore the energy of the lunar eclipse on May 5th. The moon passes through the shadow of the earth. A lunar eclipse can only occur on the full moon. According to the actual visible sky, this full moon or lunar eclipse will be in the sign of Libra. We're using true sidereal astrology here, which uses the real size and location of the constellations. So if you expected me to say the lunar eclipse is in Scorpio, please check out the link below in the description box in order to get some more information about true sidereal astrology. In this reading, we'll check how the eclipse can affect us collectively. In general astrology, lunar eclipses are said to cause a rapid change of perspective or emotions towards an area or a person in our lives. It can bring moments of revelation, and the effects can be seen within 6 weeks, or an outcome completed can be seen within 6 months following the date of the eclipse. But don't worry, the moon is connected to cycles, and whatever seems lost at the time of the eclipse can return to you better, even if it may be in a different form. Please note that this is a collective reading, so not all may apply to your situation. Take what resonates. It is also a pick a card reading. You can choose from these 3 items here. We first will cleanse the space in order to tune into presence and maybe tune into your situation, a question on your mind or your heart. All right? So take a deep breath. Group 1 is the feather. Group 2 is the flower agate. And group 3 is the seashell. Group 1, you chose the feather. Now first we're gonna look at what the old energy is for you here. What areas may be triggered by a change or an upheaval during the lunar eclipse, perhaps a hidden problem that will come to light or what needs to be faced, okay? Let's see, old area that needs to be looked at. Where do you need to cultivate more awareness? Okay, so as you can see, there are a lot of Pentacles card, which likely indicates a situation in the realm of material things, so finances, career, studies. All these cards came out in the reverse. So we have the Queen of Pentacles here in the reverse, the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse, as well as the 3 of Pentacles in the reverse. I strongly get a sense of not feeling confident enough to create wealth or to create a stable foundation for yourself. I'm also getting a sense of not feeling supported by other people because we have the 3 of Pentacles here. Maybe some project didn't work out the way you wanted to. Now the Queen of Pentacles in the upright position is a card of trusting yourself, trusting in your abilities, and because it came out reverse, it seems to be the opposite here. Like you don't have trust in your abilities. Maybe you feel afraid of putting a vision into practice, a project that you have been wanting to do for a very long time, but you feel like you are not able to do it. For example, because of resources that you think you're lacking or skills you haven't cultivated, or maybe your mind keeps telling you just one more thing. If I just have this one thing, I can do it. I can come to the edge and like finally create this wonderful project or this wonderful home even, or I just need to save this certain amount of money and then I can do it. It almost feels like, I don't want to say excuse because it can sometimes sound very offensive, but there is definitely an element of lack here. And because we have the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, it's likely an assumption that you have about yourself or about your situation, and it has very much to do with trusting yourself. With the Ten of Pentacles in a reverse, the cards want to encourage you to take a risk. Maybe you also feel it's too risky to realize this project or make this change. And with the Three of Pentacles in the reverse, it's here talking about settling for mediocrity, being complacent, not taking this risk because we feel we lack the resources or we lack the confidence in order to take the first step or take further steps. Let's see your new direction, the awareness required for a positive movement forward or for a positive change. Okay. Good. All right. Now, the awareness required or the steps required for a positive change in the situation, it has to do with coming to terms with a certain loss or an emotional pain. We have the Three of Swords here. So I feel like you may need to let go of a person or a situation that you were holding on to or are still holding on to. Maybe you feel like you need to wait for a person or a very important person in your life, maybe your parents, siblings, a family member, or very close friends of yours, or people from school contributed to making you doubting yourself. I feel this whole mistrustful energy comes from beliefs and conditionings from other people telling you you cannot do this, or sometimes parents or families tell us that these are the people who can do that, but it's not us. We do not do such things. Like if you're from a working class family and your parents feel like studying or going to university, striving for positions that will give you a great amount of income or a certain amount of wealth, is only for people who are arrogant or superficial or something like that. Some sort of belief is here that needs to be looked at, that comes from either family members or other people that have had a very strong influence on your life. And I really see that it has been making you very sad and depressed because you feel like it's compromising your future. For others of you, it could have to do with a romantic relationship. Maybe you've been through a breakup situation or some other emotional loss. And the cards are saying you need to let go of this, and you're very hesitant of letting go of such beliefs. Please know that these are conditionings and beliefs. it likely is not something that you have built because of your experiences, so to speak. It's like a belief from other people ingrained into your thinking. So the cards here want to encourage you to make your own experiences and build your own beliefs from these experiences, okay? Now, we also have the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. One message I'm getting with that is not to wait too long for things to open up or to realize certain projects. The Knight of Pentacles in the reverse can indicate a fear of failure. It can indicate also a repressed desire for adventure. So I really feel whatever this belief is that was ingrained into your thinking, it is really holding you back and triggering a blockage to the point where you have almost like an imposter syndrome. It's almost to the point of inertia where you feel like you're not able to do anything about it. It's just better you leave it like it is and like not start anything too risky here. This is the thing that you need to look at. Okay, let's see. Let's check out some advice for you here, okay? Advice on what may help you to process this energy and go towards the new direction of cultivating your own beliefs and making the things happen that you want to create in the world. So, what is the... Oh, okay. Nice. Nice for card number 1. Ah, interesting. Interesting, because we have the thinking man here. The thinking man in the reverse, and we also have the thinking woman. And the third card is the Temple Path. Now, the Temple Path usually talks about the spiritual path. It's the higher path, so to speak, that you need to take. It's a path of your own, is what I'm hearing, not the path of others. Maybe you grew up in a family that has envisioned or had envisioned a certain path for you to take in terms of your career or your overall life. And here it's saying, please go your own path, okay? It's time that you implement the things that you want to realize, that you've been dreaming about, envisioning for yourself, for your life. It's also saying that you are guided by spirit, you're guided by light, and you know your own path. You already know it. You don't have to search for it or anything, or walk on a path that is laid out for you by your family or, you know, other people that think they may have your best interest, but they may have control over your life. You have control over your life, okay? So take the Temple Path, your own path. It's a guided path by spirit. Now, with the thinking man and the thinking woman, I'm getting, for some of you, it's helpful to take the advice of a woman in your surroundings or a female person in your surroundings, but not so much listen to a person that identifies as male. It can talk about receiving support or help or guidance by your mother, not your father. Maybe your mother and your father have different opinions when it comes to your life and how you want to live it. Maybe it refers to colleagues of yours, friends, or other important people in your life. It can also refer to your own feminine and masculine side. For example, the thinking man, the masculine side is super logical. It's like just rational thinking, very action-oriented. And the feminine side is the side which is also focused on thinking and rational planning, but with an element of intuition, okay? And this connects to this temple path here, namely making rational decisions, but they are also made from your heart space, combining the heart space and the mind, and receiving guidance about this decision or about further steps from your inner place of wisdom, from your intuition, and receiving guidance. Because the masculine side can talk about being very action-oriented and doing rather than being, rather than receiving. And the feminine side is more so talking about receiving guidance here, receiving support, okay? But like I said before, it can also refer to actual people here, listening to a feminine female person rather than listening to a male person here, depending on your situation, okay? So that's what I have for you for the lunar eclipse. I hope it's helpful. If it resonated, give the video a like. You can leave me a comment and subscribe to my channel. I'm really looking forward to seeing you next time. Bye. Hi, group number 2. You chose the flower agate stone. It's a very beautiful stone. It usually connects to the throat chakra and to also our emotions, also the heart space. So maybe there's a message here for you about speaking your truth or tuning more into your emotions in order to communicate them, communicate thoughts, feelings that you have. But yeah, let's see. We'll look at your tarot cards first and see what wants to come through. And first, we're gonna look at an old pattern of yours or some outdated beliefs, or an area of your life that is being triggered by the lunar eclipse, and maybe a hidden problem or whatever needs to be faced and looked at. Group number 2. What needs to be looked at? Oh, 4 cards. Alright, it's a relationship situation. I can see it. You can see it because we have 2 cup cards here. We have the 3 of cups, the ace of cups, but we also have the ace of swords, which can indicate here there is a very strong connection between you and another person or other people, because we have the 3 of cups, okay? The 3 of cups can talk about a third-party situation. It can talk about friends. And we also have the 2 of swords here. And the 2 of swords is a card of either having to make a decision or a certain information needs to be brought to light. Maybe you don't want to see something or don't want to face certain emotions, because in the traditional tarot, the 2 of swords talks about avoiding taking the blinders off in order to keep your emotions at bay, okay? So I see different scenarios here. Either, like I said, it's a third-party situation, or it's a situation where you have developed feelings for a friend. You don't want to compromise the friendship. You don't want to hurt this person or hurt yourself by revealing your feelings, and then maybe something happens, the friendship dynamic changes, or the way you speak to each other, the way you behave around each other will change, and that's all that you are afraid of. And that's why you don't want to communicate, like I said, with the flower agate, don't want to communicate your feelings, your emotions to this person. There is a very important conversation here that needs to happen. And with the Ace of Cups here, it really is talking about real love or an opportunity for a new relationship or love. You can see with this hand here, the opportunity is presented to you and probably this other person. But like I said before, either you and or this other person are very afraid of talking about this situation, and with that changing maybe your friendship or your great connection of trust. And you know, I see a lot of fun here also, having a good time. But maybe also for some of you, you're just afraid of admitting that you have feelings for this person. Okay, let's see the new direction here that is triggered by the lunar eclipse. Okay, we have the Queen of Pentacles here. So the Queen of Pentacles wants to encourage you to have trust in yourself. Please trust also the feelings that you have, because they are there, okay? And this reading also is confirmation here. Trust that you are worth having a great relationship, and that you have everything that it takes to build a strong and great romantic relationship. We have the Page of Swords here in the upright position, which can talk about communication, shooting the message, doing the phone call, communicating these feelings to this person. We have the Four of Wands in a reverse. The Four of Wands is a card of joy, of happiness, of celebration. And even if it's in the reverse, the joy and the happiness is still present. So it can talk about repressed or suppressed joy, getting a message from this person or meeting this person, and you're very excited, very happy, but you need to repress that, or you feel like you need to repress that because you don't want to show too many emotions here. It can be the case that you are will communicate about the situation. You still feel like, I'm talking to them, but I still need to hide all the excitement that I have. I don't want to appear to be silly or, you know, like a kid or whatever. It still could be the case that either your feelings or the feelings from this other person are not so obvious. But also the Four of Wands can indicate a need for appreciation for what is already there, okay, or for what you already have in your life. So the new direction that is triggered by the lunar eclipse will be more towards having more self-trust, having more trust in the situation, trusting your own abilities of creating a great relationship, and communicating what needs to be communicated, okay? But still there can be an element of I need to hide, or this person needs to hide the great excitement that you have for each other, okay? And that's something you want to be aware about in order to come to terms with your feelings for each other, okay? Now let's see advice for this situation. Let's see some advice for you. Spirit wants to encourage you to have courage, to have the strength, build the inner strength in order to communicate or make the decision that needs to be made. I mean, you have free will, and you can, of course, decide not to communicate your feelings and to move on, or to maintain the situation that is present here. We have the community card. And to me, this always relates to the Three of Cups that we also saw earlier here. So it can relate to friendship, your group of friends. I feel if you communicate your feelings, there will be a great amount of support coming from this community, from the group of friends maybe you're both involved in, or from, you know, your family, whatever group that is referred to here. Also, with the Angel of Strength and community, it can indicate talking to your friends about the situation. and getting support from them. Now, one more card wanted to come out, and it's financial constraints in the reverse. Because it's in the reverse, I feel like there is nothing to be worried about in terms of finances and material things. So I feel material things, maybe your career, studies, or finances, is something that you may worry about when it comes to this relationship or situation. But Spirit is saying here, do not worry, there is nothing to worry, okay? Maybe it's a long distance relationship or a friendship and you're worried about, okay, how can we make this happen? It would cost a bunch of money to, meet each other at a regular basis, or I mean, that's just an example, but you know best whatever it refers to. So that's what I have for you here. I hope it's helpful. If it resonated, leave me a comment, give the video a like, and I would highly appreciate if you subscribe to the channel. It's still a very new channel and I would appreciate your support, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Bye! Hi, group number 3. You have chosen the seashell. Okay. I got this one from Mexico, I think, from the Pacific Ocean. So, very good choice. So let's see what message wants to come through here. First, we're gonna check out some old patterns of yours, an area of your life that is being triggered by this lunar eclipse, okay? Whatever needs to be looked at here for group 3. Messages for group 3. Oh, so many cards. Let's see. Now we have the 4 of Cups. So maybe you feel a very stagnant energy, complacent energy, but it can also indicate an opportunity you don't want to take, or you're not willing to take for whatever reason, or you are avoiding to look at. It can also refer to not looking at new ways, alternative ways, being stuck in old patterns, being stuck in passiveness, rather being passive than proactive about a situation. We have the King of Swords here in the reverse. So combined with the 4 of Cups, it highly indicates something you don't want to be aware about, or you are aware about already, but you don't want to admit it, or you don't want to proactively face it. We also have the 8 of Swords in a reverse, which, compared to the King of Swords in the reverse, does indicate that you are willing to liberate yourself, or you've liberated yourself from some of these thoughts that you didn't want to face. We have also the Devil here and the Strength card. Now, Devil and Strength. That's interesting. So there's definitely either some behavioral patterns or thoughts, maybe addictions, obsessions, codependent behaviors that you've been willing and strong enough to encounter and liberate yourself from, okay? Or at least there is a spark of courage and willingness to liberate yourself from this. I'm getting a sense of a feeling of being frozen, stuck in a situation, maybe being stuck at home, but wanting to make a change. It's a weird feeling. Okay, let's see the new direction that the lunar eclipse is giving you here. New direction. Okay. Ooh. Wow. I don't know where to start. We have the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. We have the interesting, the Queen of Swords in the reverse and the Tower in the reverse, wanting to clarify the King of Swords in the reverse. Oh man. We also have the Empress in the reverse and the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay. Maybe you're feeling negatively influenced by a female person or by a person that identifies as female. Maybe your mother. Maybe it has to do something with the loss of your mother or a very difficult relationship with your mother. Now, with the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords, there's definitely a need for speaking the truth, facing the world, even though you've been through a lot of difficulties, still facing the world, or because of that facing the world, because you bring a lot of wisdom. The awareness that needs to be cultivated or is being triggered by this lunar eclipse likely is an awareness that you are more than your functions, you're more than maybe your work or your physical existence. With the Empress in the reverse, I still see an element of being very self-indulgent or repressing emotions and feelings. Maybe even repressing a lot of anger here, because we have this Empress connecting to the Devil. A bold, courageous energy is stirring up in you, and you want to make a change to your old situation. But the lunar eclipse may guide you into a direction that still does not entail a great change here, because there is more to work on. There is more to face and to work on in this current place that you are in. And this may be very difficult to hear, but even the Devil has its place. The Devil has its place in order for us to learn about codependencies and our limitations. The Devil connects to Capricorn energy. So it's all about limitations and working with these limitations. Having the strength to temper our instincts to a point where we can feel centered and strong enough in order to work with the self-indulgent behavior or work with what we have and our own limits. Now, because we have the Empress here in the reverse, there's also an element of not feeling worthy of change maybe, or worthy of a different life, a different lifestyle, and feeling not supported or feeling like we need to lead a mediocre life. And that, of course, is a false belief, but it's a belief that needs to be worked through so that you can turn this energy around and finally see that you're worth carrying this crown, feeling like a queen or a king, and then feeling confident enough in order to give the world whoever you are, like present the world whatever you want to present, and whoever you are, you truly are. I strongly get an element here or message here about not being courageous enough to present the world who you are. For others of you, it's too much of presenting who you are, being too forceful. That's why there is a need here for learning how to cope with your limitations. Also, what I'm getting here, looking at the shell, this shell really has a lot of holes in it, and it really looks very much beaten up by life, by the sea of consciousness and life. So it may be very symbolic to your journey so far, feeling like you're having a lot of holes, a lot of like lack. lack of confidence or courage, or being aware of your weaknesses, of your limitations, and knowing how to deal with it and facing the world anyways, okay? Because this shell is beautiful as it is, even though it seems like it has been through very rough times in the sea, in the ocean. Okay, let's see. Let's get some advice for you here. Pile number 3. Okay. Oh man. Yeah. We have community. We have hostilities in a reverse. We also have strategy and envy. Okay, so clear message here. Not everyone is your enemy, okay? For some of you, that's something you need to hear. There may be some patterns or thoughts where you feel like the whole world is conspiring against me sometimes and I don't know how to cope with it. It's just too much. It feels too much communicating and being with people. It triggers a lot of bad behavior in you, or a lot of bad thoughts, or a lot of anger maybe. But the advice here is saying there are indeed people in your community that want to help and support you, that are true and real with you, and you can plan your future with them, or you can make a strategy, a plan with them, how to cope with these patterns that you don't want to engage in anymore. Also with the strategy card, there is an advice here for you to get some more information or have a strategy about how to cope with people or how to communicate with people when you feel vulnerable. For example, there is an approach called non-violent communication. There are tons of other approaches. Another advice could be journaling here. We have journal log written on this card. For some of you, it wants to encourage you to start journaling, okay? Or maybe just start writing in general. Maybe you've always wanted to write a book or something else. And then we also have envy card here for you. Not comparing yourself with other people. It really doesn't serve you and it doesn't serve others. So really focus on your own strategy, how to deal with life and with others. Of course, you always can get support and help from your community here. And there is support here. There are people, friends, family who want to help you. Not everyone is your enemy. But please also be aware of comparing yourself with others and try to transcend this energy because it's not serving you, okay? So that's what I have for you here. I hope it's helpful. If it resonated, leave me a comment, like the video, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye!